start?
Yes,
Ladies
please.
and gentlemen, dear distinguished guests, respected colleagues and honored speakers. On behalf of Georgian Tourist Association and our partner, Institute of Tourism, it is with great pride and privilege that I welcome all of you to the International Conference, Experience Georgia, 8,000 Years of Hospitality, Past, Present, and Future. Your presence signifies in the sharing dedication to progress, innovation, and excellence in tourism field. Our next few hours, we will engage in meaningful discussion dedicated to only Georgia as a very interesting tourist destination, rich of hospitality, culture, heritage, gastronomy, and wine, and huge of misdirections. Tourism is one of the most dynamic economic sector of Georgia, contributing over approximately 10% of our GDP and employing tens of thousands across of Georgia, across of region. Georgian Tourist Association is a leading private sector umbrella organization for tourism enterprises. More than 300 member organizations plays a central role shaping a sustainable, competitiveness, inclusive tourist ecosystem. We have new strategy development plan which outlines GTA's vision, goals, and roadmap for the next 5 years, focusing on collaboration, digital innovation, capacity building, and sustainable development. GTA aims to transform Georgia's private sector into a competitive, sustainable, year-round industry that delivers high value per visitor, stronger regional spread, and improved service quality. We have huge opportunity in Georgia, so I not want to take your time more and more, and I want to only welcome all of you, our international guests, to Georgia to have a travel, very interesting, very important tourist destination. Once again, I want to thank to our partner, Institute of Tourism, and his president, Mr. Reza Sultan, for great partnership. We will continue our collaboration with new projects and ideas in future, and I hope our partnership will be very, very successful very nearest future. Here in advance, I'd like to thank our speakers for sharing their expertise and all our partners for their support. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you, for the participants, for bringing your energy and interest. Let's make this event a time of learning, connection, and inspiration. Thank you for being here. With that, let's begin today's conference, and I hope it will be very, very interesting, and you will discover Georgia as a country very beautiful, very interesting for future travel. Now I want to give the floor to my colleagues, Nina Kekalidze. She is Head of Education and Tourist Committee in Association, Director of Discover Georgia, and Professor of Sauron University. She's experience and expertise will bring today very important and important information for everybody. And just I want to thanks to Nina for time and contribution to the conference. Nina, floor is yours, and let's start our very important conference.
Thank you, Mrs. Natalie, for those inspiring opening words. Mrs. Natalie Kochandiradze is the chairperson of Georgian Tourism Association, and she has played a key role in strengthening industry collaboration and promoting sustainable tourism development in Georgia. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, respected speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon from Tbilisi, Georgia, and a very warm welcome to all participants joining us today from different parts of the world. Gamarjoba, which in Georgian language means hello. It's a great honor to officially open an international online conference entitled Experience Georgia, 8,000 Years of Hospitality, Past, Present, and Future. Today, we have an extraordinary privilege of welcoming over 700 registered participants from different countries I would like to extend a special welcome to all of you joining us through multiple platforms in our Zoom conference room, watching us on live in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or connecting via our website of Institute of Europe. This remarkable turnout across all these platforms, bringing together tourism professionals, representatives from international organizations, academic institutions, public sector entities, and our valued association members and partners, demonstrates the significant international interest in Georgia as an emerging tourism destination with a remarkable heritage. My name is Dr. Nino Kekeridze, and I serve as the head of Educational Tourism Committee, as Mrs. Natalie already have mentioned, and I'll be moderating today's conference and guiding our discussions. Georgia's hospitality tradition is one of the oldest continuous culture practices in the world, shaped over 8 millennia of civilization, winemaking, trade, and intercultural exchange. Hospitality in Georgia is not solely an economic activity, it's a cultural institution, deeply embedded in social values, rituals, and identity. At the same time, modern tourism faces unprecedented transformation. Climate change, sustainability, technological innovation, evolving traveler expectations, geopolitical realities which require us to rethink how destinations develop and how tourism benefits local communities. The purpose of today's conference, as already Mrs. Natalia had mentioned, is to reflect on Georgia's historical legacy of hospitality, to assess present challenges and opportunities with the tourism sector, to explore future-oriented strategies that promote sustainability, resilience, and inclusive growth. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Georgian Tourism Association, the Institute of Tourism, and all partners, institutions, those dedication and professionalism made this event possible. Special thanks also go to our speakers, those expertise and leadership significantly enrich today's event. Now we can start our first presentation, which will provide us with a comprehensive overview of Georgian tourism, our diverse resort offering, and current statistical data. It's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Tamar Koryavouli, First Deputy Head of Georgian National Tourism Administration, Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development of Georgia. Mrs. Koryavouli brings extensive expertise in tourism development and will present key data that illustrates Georgia's growth trajectory in the global tourism market. Mrs. Tamar, welcome, and please proceed with your presentation.
Dear Nina, thank you for this opportunity. Let me first of all thank the Tourism Association and the Institute of Tourism for this very important meeting uniting the tourism leaders from the different parts of different regions, and for this opportunity to share some very important numbers, success, and some additional information about the tourism offerings of Georgia. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear partners. First of all, I will try to share my screen. And before I will begin, let me share with you the short video of Georgia and how the tourism reflects and shapes the values of Georgia.
Stumari is a Georgian word for guest. And hardly in Georgia there exists any other rank higher than that of Stumari. Stumari is a gift of God, said someone a long time ago, and we all agreed. As you touch Georgian land, better fasten your napkin, as you will be taken to the wild ride of feasts and toasts and hus, and have some mores. Dumari deserves a royal rest. And when you're ready to see some more, don't ask internet, ask your nearest Georgian. Each of us has already planned where to take you next. Follow the trail to the magic lakes.
Go where wine was born.
Drive to ancient caves.
Browse the street market.
Jump in the waves. Have a breath of fresh air.
Car hop through Old City.
Take a break from your smartphone. Soak in nature. Go see Capital of Poets.
Sing with our friends.
Dance through the night.
Meet the sky and the mountains. Stumari is our pleasure, our calling, and our mission is unchanged, to make you fall in love and may that love always bring you back. Be Stumari of Georgia. Great stories guaranteed.
Well, as you have just seen, in Georgia, we believe that guest is a gift from God, and it's not just a traditional saying, it's a principle that shapes how we welcome our visitors, how we create the new experiences and tourist products, and most importantly, how we develop the tourism as a sector. With this philosophy in mind, let me briefly introduce Georgia as a destination that shares its centuries-old values in a modern and competitive destination. As I know, the participants are from different sectors uniting the tourism, from different international organizations, from the tourism sector, and as well from the different institutions. And I hope that we all can agree that tourism dynamically changes. And I don't mean just the vision, the offerings, but as well the behavior of the tourists. And it's very important for the destination to be competitive, to offer something new, and as well to have this good combo of traditions, of the history and the modern values and offerings. And then we have this question, what makes Georgia so unique and what Georgia can offer to the global world to be attractive and to always have something that will bring the new motivation to all the visitors to visit our country. First of all, we position Georgia as a four-season tourism destination and the countries that can offer diverse experiences during the year. And thanks to our location, as well to the natural and cultural heritage, Georgia is not limited to just one season or one product. Instead, we have a balanced, diverse, and very competitive products, and we can support the tourism flows year-round. As well, we can be proud of different attractions that we have in Georgia in different regions. Georgia is as well the birthplace of wine. We have a rich gastronomy, as well a lot of products linked with the adventure and nature, and to offer a huge range of the activities linked with the culture. I will share with you some information about the different resorts that we have, and let's start with the sea resorts. Georgia offers a diverse Black Sea coastline with the 13 sea resorts, and the long summer season starting from May to October allows us to combine leisure tourism, different events, and additional activities over an extended period. As well, we have a ski resorts, and I hope that many from our participants had the chance to visit at least one. It's a Gudauri resort, Bakuriani, Goderdi, and Mestia. What is the most important that these resorts are active as well during the summer period, and as well are most attractive during the winter. And the period for the winter is from December to April, which provides us with 5 months of winter activities for the travelers from the different regions, and for families who want to discover the winter activities in our country. Additionally, we can offer a huge range of activities for the health and wellness resorts. And Georgia can be proud to say that we have more than 100 resorts in our small country, and additionally more than 2,000 spring waters and different resorts which are quite developed. However, from the governmental perspective, we now invest a lot in new data and analysis, and as well the research to invest in the new destinations to attract the new local or international investments to support the development of the resorts and to support the local population as well. I hope that our representative and my colleague from the Agency of Protected Area will share with you detailed information about the protected areas, their offerings and the services. What I want to outline is that we are very proud as a small country to say that more than 13% of our land is a protected area, which from one side can be the added value to the tourism development, and as well from another side to be additional support to the local population who is living near to the protected areas, and to be one of the driver of the tourism development in the country. As well, when we consider that tourism is not just a leisure, for sure it's all about the connections, about the business opportunities, and we can say that Georgia has a good experience of conducting the different international events, conferences, and we have a modern, solid infrastructure to host the different events and the meetings linked with the business tourism. And it's not just in big cities of Georgia, but in the different regions of the country. When we talk about the infrastructure, it should be mentioned that we invest a lot in the connectivity to attract the new investments, to attract the visitors to visit our country, and to have this distribution of the flows in the different regions of Georgia. We have 3 international airports located in Kutaisi, Batumi, and the capital city of Georgia. And we see the growth of the international airlines that introduce the new flights in our country. For today, we have more than 70 airlines operating in Georgia to more than 120 destinations, making the connections between the people and between the businesses very accessible and smooth. When we talk about the tourism, it's always important to mention the growth, to see the dynamics of the visitors. And it's not just about the number, it's about the additional values that it adds to our economy. We can see that during the last 10 years, we see the stable growth, and the dynamics are quite positive, and it reflects to the incomes that we have from the tourism. And the previous year was very important, and we received 4.7 billion USD coming from the tourism, having the direct influence to the economy, to the well-being of the population. And as previous speakers mentioned, a lot of people are linked with the tourism industry, not just in the cities, but in different remote areas. And we hope to see new growth in this year, and very important. What is very important to make it very sustainable and to have them direct connection with the strategies that we have, the vision of how we want to develop the tourism, and the joint efforts coming from the population, from the private sector, and from the government are at the front agenda, coming from the strategies that we have. I hope that today all the participants will have the opportunity to share their interest, to get the new information about our country, and as well, if you will have some additional recommendations or questions, we're always happy to have the responses from our side. At the end, I would like to share with you one additional promotional short video to give you more understanding about the Georgia's tourism offerings.
Europe's best kept secret. Long, somehow endless. I tasted something new, with 8,000 years of tradition behind it. I called myself. We left with a story. Part of me here, and took a piece of it with me. So, keep it to myself.
Thank you, Mrs. Cariauli, for informative overview and impressive statistical data, as well as for the videos. Thank you so much. Now we shift our focus to a broader regional perspective, and I'm delighted to introduce Mrs. Kondula Wohlmather, Regional Director for Europe at UN Tourism. Mrs. Wohlmather will share insights on regional tourism development within the framework of UN Tourism strategic priorities. Mrs. Kondula, welcome to our conference, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, dear colleagues. It's great being with you today. Gamar Joba, thank you for the first presentations. Mr. Reza Soltani, Tamar, Dr. Nino, thank you so much for having UN Tourism at the table of this important discussion today. I wish to share some insights with you, but before going ahead, I just want to comment on the beautiful images that Tamar just shared with us, which makes us wanting to go to Georgia, visit the beautiful landscapes, and eat the fantastic food and try the fantastic wine that Georgia has. I just would like to have, for instance, now a good Hachapuri or Khinkali and a glass of good Saperavi wine. And this in the nice setting of Georgian landscape and with the incredible hospitality of the Georgians. And when you say that the guest is a gift of God, then we even want to come more than in usual cases. So I think these images and the stories behind what you just showed us show also the meeting the demands for authentic, local, culinary, eco-friendly, and nature-based offers. that the visitors nowadays want and are looking for. We know this. There is more consciousness of sustainability at the moment. And I strongly believe that Georgia, with all the hard work in the tourism that is happening, is here really on the right track. If I may share with you some slides that we have prepared for this purpose, then please have a look with me at the following. Just a second. Okay, starting my slide show here now. So I hope you can see this. Do you see the full screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see.
Perfect, wonderful. Then let's go ahead. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, tourism is growing. We are fully recovered after the COVID-19 pandemics. That means we are 4% up in 2025 compared to 2019. So that means we have about 1.5 billion international tourists that were recorded last year. That means 60 million more than in 24. A growing trend that will also continue in the future. Europe is the world's largest destination still in terms of tourist arrivals, with 793 million international tourists, a 4% increase from 24 and 6% from 2019 levels. When we look at the sub-regional aspect, then Western Europe, Southern Mediterranean Europe saw robust performance, and also Central and Eastern Europe rebounded strongly. So arrivals remain still below 2019 levels, which is an obvious case because of the geopolitical situation that we have in Eastern Europe, affecting the tourism flows. However, the positive results in international arrivals last year are also reflected in other industry indicators. So we have international air capacity and air passenger traffic growing by 7% until October, but also global occupancy in accommodation reached 66% in November. We expect, together with our experts, that growth will continue by 3 to 4% until the end of this year, if everything goes well. When we look at the world regions with which UN Tourism is working, then we see amazing numbers, in particular in the Middle East. So in the Middle East, when you look here, plus 39% in international tourist arrivals compared to 2019, shows us that especially in this region, we have growing destinations that are becoming increasingly relevant as players in the international tourism areas. But also others like Africa has a strong growth, to a lesser extent Americas, and to a lesser extent also Asia Pacific, in particular with comparison to 2019. Asia and Pacific, also the slower rebound has to do with the fact that the borders during the pandemic were very lastingly closed, in particular China and other main destinations where the international tourists could not come for 2 to 3 years. In Europe, when you look here, so +4, +6% increase compared to 2019 and 2024. Now, important beside this international tourist arrivals is obviously the number of receipts. And here the interesting thing is in the green color, you see the receipts that overtakes the blue line, meaning the arrivals. This was not always the case. Usually the receipts stayed below the number of the arrivals. So that means we have a growing income from tourism in form of the receipts. That is important. That means that we have, it doesn't really matter the numbers anymore, but the receipts that we get out of this. So that is a very interesting and very important indicator, also has to do obviously also with the economic situation worldwide and with the inflation, but still a trend that we will continue seeing in the future. Now, when we look at this growth, we obviously are also facing challenges. One of these challenges is also the balanced growth. We know that we have in some hotspots tensions with the visitor to resident ratios that are projected to rise in top cities, intensifying the pressures on the destination and on the local communities. Obviously, also the shortages and the skills gaps in our labor that we need to tackle. In particular, also environmental challenges like the climate change and the increasing energy costs of which we need to be aware. And then obviously also digital transition that is shaping our sector so heavily nowadays, with AI becoming increasingly important, that we need to work on together with you. And then also our sector is unfortunately very vulnerable to any external shocks. If it is a man-made shock or a nature-made shock, our sector stays and remains vulnerable. At the same time, we know that our sector is able to rebound very swiftly. Having outlined these key challenges, at the same time, tourism is growing. Tourism is about people. Tourism is about empowering the local communities. It is about showcasing the beauty of the countries and of the regions, the gastronomy, and all the beautiful assets that our sector showcases to the world. That means tourism in Europe and globally is a force for development and is a force for peace. The regions and sub-regions, however, need to work stronger together, especially when we talk about long-haul destinations. So any sub-region in Europe, if this is now the South Caucasus or Southeastern Europe or Central Asia, are stronger together when they tackle long-haul destinations. So to develop routes, cross-border routes that attract the long-haul source markets. That means through this cooperation, we strongly believe our competitiveness and the resilience can be further strengthened. Now, when I look specifically on Georgia, and Tamar already shared these amazing numbers with her, we see also in international tourist arrivals growing numbers, almost 8% compared to 2019, and the same with regards to the receipts. So the sector is growing, the tourism sector is doing a lot, as we have heard, in order to make sure that it's not only attractive to the visitors, showcasing all the beautiful assets the country has, but also to try to be as sustainable as possible. And Tamar mentioned the importance of data. We cannot strengthen the importance of data enough, because we need to know at the end of the day, not only economic terms, but also in environmental and social terms, to understand the data in order to use this information so that we can formulate the right policies and strategies in order to shape the future of our sector. When I look into the region of South Caucasus, then we have Georgia definitely in the lead with regards to arrivals, as showcased in this particular slide here. So congratulations to Georgia on these amazing numbers, and also showing leadership in several other issues. For instance, wine tourism, and we just saw the wine before, and I mentioned the Saparavi. Alone, this niche segment is an important one. We have just come out with a study where the wine tourism segment is increasingly important. Georgia hosted the first UNWTO Global Conference on Wine Tourism, and last year, 2 years ago now it is, that the World Tourism Day was hosted by Georgia, namely on tourism and peace. And we have Mestia, that Tamar mentioned as one of the skiing resorts, as one of our best tourism villages, a village that stands out for its sustainability efforts and the engagement of the local community in full participatory approach to develop the sector in a sustainable manner. That means, again, on the wine tourism is a key driver of rural and regional tourism development. We have 25% of winery revenue are generated through tourism activities, and 2/3 of the wineries report wine tourism as profitable. So this is a segment that also in Georgia plays a significant role, as it also benefits in particular the rural areas and the small and medium-sized enterprises. And it's a way of reducing seasonality and supports the year-round demand that for Georgia is so important. Now, with this, ladies and gentlemen, let me recall you that through collaboration and cooperation, we can make our sector more sustainable. We can be more competitive, but at the same time, we are very challenged. So all the people being present here, we have our own approach to tourism. Everybody's responsible for something, because one very wise man once said tourism is not only marketing, and it is not management, it is not sociology and not geography, and it's not psychology and not geography and anthropology, but it's all of this and much more. But we are working in a beautiful sector. It's people-centered. It is about people and for people. And we are happy from UN Tourism to serve all of you, the member states, in making sure that we are sustainable, resilient, and responsible in our work. Thank you so much for having us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kandula, for your valuable time, for expertise, and definitely for placing Georgian tourism within the broader European and global context. And your perspective from UN Tourism is invaluable as we consider our development trajectory. Thank you again so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are moving to our next speaker, and we will talk about Georgia's winemaking heritage, which spans 8,000 years and making it one of the oldest wine-producing regions in the world. Wine tourism represents a significant opportunity for our country. To explore global perspective and the best practices in wine tourism, we are honored to welcome Mr. Jose Antonio Vidal, founder and president of the Global Wine Tourism Organization. Mr. Vidal will share international expertise in wine tourism development and achievements that can inform Georgia's own strategy in this important sector. Mr. Vidal, welcome, and please share your expertise with us.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, colleagues. Good afternoon from Madrid. On behalf of GWTO, my grateful to the Institute of Tourism team. Thank you, President Risa, for giving us the opportunity to share our experience in this conference honoring Georgia, where we have excellent good friends. Georgia is a country that has everything to be positioned in enotourism on the world map, enotourism world map, global, even for leadership. Thank you, Tamar and Cordula, for your presentations. Thank you, Tamar, for the lovely videos that excellently represent the essential Georgia. I already visited Georgia for professional reasons. Those who know about wine, at GWTO, we know about tourism, agree that we are in an international crisis of wine consumption and production. In Burgundy, the decline is 12%. Now is the time to find part of the solution in tourism, particularly in enotourism. What GWTO is? GWTO is the only global entity specializing in enotourism, as others do in wine. A global knowledge and entrepreneurship network made up by an international team of experts in tourism, enotourism, gastronomy tourism, and agritourism. Academic authorities that take part in our GWTO Academy, and strategic management consultants for destinations and companies, all committed to sustainable and satisfactory responsibility. And what GWTO do? GWTO contributes to the social and economic development of destinations by promoting and implementing the heritage identity of their gastro and wine culture. Why and for whom GWTO do it? To ensure that visitors and local residents have a satisfying experience. But how GWTO do it? How GWTO could support Georgian enotourism? On the one hand, at GWTO Academy, we develop an enotourism governance framework based on sustainable responsibility. On the other hand, GWTO collaborates with destinations and their ecotourism resources to position them on the global ecotourism map in the case of emerging destinations, and to strengthen already established destinations and resources. Through the GWTO RSS Ecotourism Strategic Plan. R from responsible in terms of social and environmental commitment. S from sustainable, enduring over time. And S from satisfactory for visitors and residents, based on 5 interrelated lines of actions for international positioning. The 5 pillars of GWTO: training, promotion, recognition, commercialization, and monitoring. Training in comprehensive responsible ecotourism management in collaboration with local academic institutions. GWTO Academy has physical locations in Mexico, Argentina, Spain, and China. And we continue growing, hopefully in Georgia as well. MICE promotion through local, regional, and global events planned by GWTO MICE. Uruguay in Punta del Este and China in Yantai, Shandong Province host the GWTO Global Summits on Responsible Ecotourism in 2024 and 2025, respectively. This year, the host will be Portugal in Alentejo region. For 2027, Mexico and another region of China have already submitted their credentials. And for 2028, there are already candidate destinations. Perhaps Georgia will be among them. Recognition through the GWTO Biosphere International Certification as an ecotourism destination and experiences that are responsible in terms of social and environmental commitment, sustainable, long-lasting over time, and satisfactory for visitors and residents again. Yantai, China is already certified. We are certifying Alentejo, Portugal, and Ningxia, China. We will soon begin certifying Querétaro, Mexico, and perhaps Georgia. Commercialization by including the best ecotourism certified experiences on the global ecotourism booking platform GWTO Innowine Club More Than Wines. And monitoring by the participation of destinations and their ecotourism resources, contributing data to the GWTO Global Ecotourism Economic Monitor. Our partners join us either because of a sense of belonging or because of commitments to collaborate with the activities offered by GWTO. For an instance, governments and destinations join GWTO by hosting events, through obtaining the international certification, and by data contribution to the GWTO Global Ecotourism Economic Monitor. Wineries and other establishments join GWTO through obtaining the international certification and uploading their experiences in the booking platform Innowine Club. And academic institutions join GWTO Academy through collaboration in training programs and the opening of physical GWTO academic locations. The GWTO network is currently present in the following countries in alphabetical order: Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Brazil, Chile, China, USA, Spain, France, Greece, Italy, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Portugal, Romania, Russia, Turkey, Uruguay, Uzbekistan. Let's inspire together a responsible ecotourism. GWTO is the only global entity specializing in ecotourism. Thanks to all for your interest in GWTO and overall for your interest on responsible ecotourism. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Mr. Hussein, for those valuable insights into vine tourism development. Thank you so much. And we can move to the next speaker. So we are pleased to welcome Dr. Tamer Khakishvili, Deputy Chair of the Agency of Protected Areas, Ministry of Environmental Protection and Agriculture of Georgia. Dr. Khakishvili will discuss now Georgia's protected areas serve as essential components of our ecotourism and sustainable tourism development strategy. Dr. Tamer, welcome, and you can proceed, please.
Thank you, Ms. Nino. Thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in this very interesting conference. Definitely, it's my pleasure to be here with all these distinguished people who are talking about Georgia and the potential of tourist development and the trends that has been going on within the years for our country. Before I will explain very shortly and demonstrate the potential of Georgia as an ecotourist destination, I would like to show you a very small video which has been always used as the promotional video that demonstrates the natural heritage of our country. Let me share the screen right now, if I can do this. Well, thank you. I hope you had the chance to see the full video without stopping, because sometimes it stops once having these connections. Well, so talking about protected areas of Georgia, definitely it's our pleasure to demonstrate this very interesting topic, because for many, many years, this has been—
Tamer, could you please stop sharing of the video on the screen because it's visible?
Okay, for sure. And
thank you.
I will share right now the one.
I haven't stopped it. You can continue. I haven't stopped.
Yeah, I just want to share also this point. Okay. Thank you for reminding that it was not on. So definitely, I was talking about protected areas of Georgia. Definitely, we need to highlight these major topics, which have been the ones which has attracted millions of people's interest towards Georgia. And as my colleagues from different agencies, Ms. Tamer also showed, the interest from international visitors to come to Georgia is increasing. And once having surveys from these people, we see that a lot of people prefer to visit national parks of Georgia, because we believe that the natural heritage of our country is one of the major reasons for visiting our countries. At this stage, we can say that 13% of the country is covered with protected areas. And this is the number which is increasing day by day. We have now 100 protected areas under protection, and these numbers are increasing. We are also working on establishing new protected areas, and we think that soon 16% of the whole country, it will be protected areas. Here we have national parks as well as strict nature reserves and natural monuments, together with Ramsar site and biosphere reserves and emerald networks as well. So it has extraordinary biodiversity and which attracts millions of people in our country. And particularly protected areas of Georgia attract more than 1 million people at protected areas. This is the numbers which we just shared a couple of weeks ago, the statistics of visitors. And we can proudly say that more than 1,250,000 visitors visited national parks of Georgia. This is the record, I would say, because we had never ever hosted such big amount of people. Even before COVID pandemic, there has never been such big figures in that terms, and we are really very happy to have this possibility, because it, on one hand, demonstrates the increased interest toward Georgia protected areas, and on another hand, it gives us possibility to work on our environmental awareness raising activities, which we implement for our school children as well as other stakeholders in order to increase awareness, environmental awareness. Despite of the fact that we have this extraordinary biodiversity at the crossroad of Europe and Asia, we always have been highlighting that the history of protected areas is quite ancient, starting over 100 years ago when first protected areas was established. And Lago Defi, one of the oldest protected areas in Europe, also in the Caucasus and Eastern Europe, has been the one which set the footprint and give birth to the story of protected areas in our country. And now we see very diverse ecosystems which attract visitors. I have always been mentioning why you should visit Georgia and why you should visit protected areas, because there is no other country that in just 1 week you can visit semi-desert and glaciers and wetlands and UNESCO sites and rainforests and wetlands and caves, and it is just in half an hour the ecosystems change. So you just start from the Black Sea, and in a couple of hours you can find yourself in very high mountain region. Like even from Tbilisi, in just 2 hours you can go to Azbegi National Park and see the glaciers, which are more than 5,000 meters high. Or even from the capital, in just 2 hours you can go to semi-desert, which is another wonder of the nature. So this diversity gives us the possibility to offer different and diversified services to our visitors, and which gives us the possibility to attract more and more visitors at our protected areas. Of course, we work on proper distribution of people, of target groups, and we try to diversify the services, which will give us the possibility to provide diversified services and to provide services to particular groups, so that there will be people who will be visiting national parks for 2 or 3 day hiking trails. For that, we provide them very modern and well-equipped hiking trails with more than 100 trails, with more than 2,000 meters length in total in the whole network of protected areas, where you will meet very well-equipped tourism shelters together with nice observation decks and very good information science network at protected areas. On another hand, you will meet quite interesting infrastructure in terms of road parks or via ferrata or zip lines, which is also very interesting for adventure lovers and hikers. As well, here you can find like phantom tours or boat tours, speedboat tours, as well as snowshoes tours or wetland tours in protected areas, which makes your emotions and experience even diverse. Why we are so proud, and Mr. Amar also mentioned that here in Georgia, we have UNESCO World Heritage Site as well in natural heritage categories, which gives us proud because we are so small country, and here we have 4 protected areas which are under the list of World Natural Heritage. This is located in West Georgia, and this is the combination of rainforest and wetlands, and together these 2 ecosystems create unique biodiversity, which definitely is worth to be in the World UNESCO list. So basically, once talking about number of visitors, I still would like to come back to the statistics. My presenters also showed how the number of visitors in Georgia have been increasing year by year. Definitely, this is the same trend which has been translated into the increase of protected areas visitors as well. This year, we experienced about 13% increase in comparison to the previous year. We still had about the same in comparison to previous years, and this is normal numbers that we make analysis throughout the years. But why our goal is to increase the number of visitors at protected areas? Here I would like to underline that our major goal is not only to increase the number of visitors at protected areas, but also to take care of the socioeconomic conditions of local population. Because once we talk about increasing number of visitors at protected areas, we definitely mean creating new possibilities for the visitors and for the local population, because definitely this is the priority for our local communities to embark on eco-friendly businesses, to open guest houses or to start some ecotourism services and to generate some revenues out of this. We always used to say that we only develop minor infrastructure for hikers or for nature lovers, for them to come to protected areas and enjoy the beauty of the landscapes. And afterwards, accommodation, cafes, catering, this is the services which need to be provided by local communities living adjacent to protected areas. And Ms. Tamar Orioli also mentioned the campaign of Stumari, which is very nice and very inspiring idea, which perfectly demonstrates the sense and the soul of Georgian hospitality. And this is the one which is just adjacent to protected areas, and tourism, ecotourism in combination with agritourism and the marketing campaign of Stumari, it's a perfect match in order to demonstrate Georgian hospitality together with its cultural and natural elements. So having said this, I still would like to highlight that once coming to Georgia, definitely you should not leave the country without visiting protected areas of Georgia, because this is the emotions which will last forever in our lifetime. So my big recommendation to this natural beauty is I every day explore new areas, and all of them inspire me and still make me surprised, and definitely I would like to share this experience to others as well. Well, thank you so much for your time, for your attendance. Definitely, I'll be happy afterwards to answer the questions if that be. Thank you.
Dr. Tamar, thank you so much for highlighting the crucial role of environmental protection in sustainable tourism development. And from natural beauty, we have to move towards the hospitality and this sector which forms the backbone of any successful tourism destination. Georgia's hospitality traditions are legendary, and our modern infrastructure must reflect both our cultural heritage and contemporary international standards. So I'm pleased to introduce Mrs. Elena Otarashvili, an accomplished hotelier and hospitality executive who serves as a general manager of Golden Tulip Design Hotel. Mrs. Otarashvili will discuss the hospitality sector of Georgia as a vital component of our tourism infrastructure, highlighting our cultural landmarks and high-performing destinations. Mrs. Elena, welcome, and please share your insights.
Thank you very much, dear Nino. I'm very glad to be here and to participate in this very interesting online international conference. Thanks to Institute of Tourism and to Georgian Tourism Association for organizing such a meaningful gathering of tourism enthusiasts and experts. And I'm really honored to be invited as a speaker with respected industry experts and leaders. Dear Nino, please let me share my small presentation, which you can follow with me.
You can share it through your system.
What's going on here?
Just click on the bottom share.
I put share. Yes, and what
you have to select
should I
your
do?
presentation.
It is marked. Does it make any difference?
No, no.
Yes. Okay. Screen share. Let's see. Okay. Please come. Okay, one of my colleagues would help me. Okay, we will do it right now. Okay.
With share
Okay.
button, and then you have to select your presentation.
Okay, and at the same time, I will maybe not to lose and not to take too much time. Okay. So what is my topic today is hospitality sector of Georgia as a strong part of tourism infrastructure, cultural landmarks, and high-performing destinations. So Georgia is often introduced to the world through its rich history, the birthplace of wine with over 8,000 years of continuous winemaking tradition. On a desktop I have. Yes, extraordinary landscapes and deep cultural identity. Okay, so it doesn't work, but so no worries. I will entertain you with my speech. Okay. Sorry for this little discomfort. Okay, and we as a nation we are excelling with a way of welcoming guests that has been lived, not taught, for centuries. Though yet history alone does not build a destination. What truly transforms a country into a place people return to, invest in, and remember is hospitality, not simply as service, but as a strategic industry. I believe that hospitality is the backbone that turns heritage into experience and locations into destinations. Real hospitality is human, authentic, and deeply rooted in care. It turns visits into experiences and experiences into lasting connections with the destination. I've spent more than 20 years leading hotels, resorts, and heritage estates, from international brands to some of Georgia's most iconic properties. And what this journey has taught me is something I deeply believe in. Hospitality is the backbone that I already mentioned that turns heritage into experience and locations into destinations. So heritage becomes a destination only when it is carefully transformed into authentic experiences. From my own experience, and I will talk now only from my experience, culture does not travel on its own. It must be designed, structured, and interpreted for the modern visitor. This is where hospitality makes the difference. Through clear storytelling rooted in local identity, carefully developed strategies aligned with international standards, and leadership that respects tradition while adapting it for today's market. Hospitality turns heritage from a static asset into a living experience. And when heritage is activated through hospitality, it is no longer something to simply observe. It becomes something to feel, touch, taste, and experience, something people remember for a lifetime and return for. And this is how destinations are truly formed. Now, let me tell you about one of the most defining chapters of my career. It was leading the development of Chateau Moukhrani from scratch. Chateau Moukhrani is a historic estate in the Kartli region of Georgia. And when I joined it in 2010, it was a historic place with a powerful royal legacy and revived winemaking, but it was not yet a tourist destination. My role as a leader was not only to restore a royal estate. My goal was to bring it fully back to life through hospitality. We focused on creating one of the strongest wine tourist experiences in Georgia, an experience that later became a benchmark for wine tourism in the country. We built a complete hospitality ecosystem, wine, history, gastronomy, and events connected under one clear vision. International standards, which were carefully adapted to Georgian culture and identity. Experiences which were designed for both local and international guests. And the impact went far beyond one property. Chateau Moukhrani helped place the Kartli region very soon to firmly put on the tourism map. And over time, more wineries, more hotels, more event venues and visitors followed. And today, after so many years, Kartli is one of the most actively developing and visited touristic regions in Georgia. This is the power of strong hospitality strategy. It doesn't only revive one place, it drives whole regional development, attracts investment, and builds long-term value. The same principle applies to Kakheti region. Kakheti has always been the heart of Georgian wine culture, and who knows Georgia, they would agree that Kakheti is #1 region for us as a wine destination. But even the strongest regions need flagship destinations to unlock their full potential. And when I became involved in Vazisubani estate, it was a historic palace surrounded by vineyards, rich in story, yet not fully positioned as a destination. And our focus was clear. It was 2018. Not to preserve history as a museum, but to activate it through hospitality. We approached Vazisubani as a living estate, a historic palace reimagined for contemporary travelers, wine, architecture, landscape, and service, which were aligned into one integrated experience. A destination designed for luxury weddings, long stays, events, and international audiences. The result wasn't just a restored property. It became a high-performing hospitality destination that strengthened Kakheti's premium positioning. And Vazisubani proved an important point. When heritage is professionally curated, strategically positioned and operated with care, it becomes an economic engine, not just a cultural asset. Now I'd like to mention very briefly also about another Georgian landmark, which is Radisson Collections in Andali Estate. It is also one of the strongest national examples of how hospitality, culture, and wine come together, positioning Georgia clearly on the international tourism map. And I was really lucky to lead this amazing property. I was a general manager of this amazing place. And, this is not just a hotel. It is one of the most important hospitality and cultural projects in Georgia's modern history. Here, hospitality became a national platform. Zinandali brought together elements that rarely align at this scale. It is a restored historic estate of national importance. It's a world-class hotel, as I mentioned, operated under an international luxury brand. Iconic Zinandali Park and historic on Enothek, we should mention, and also international cultural events, including the Classical Music Festival and Jazz and Wine Festival. The project redefined how Georgia presents itself to the world. It showed that hospitality can attract global audiences, host international cultural dialogue, extend the length of stay and visitor spending, and position the country not only as authentic, but as refined and confident. Zinandali proved that when hospitality, culture, and investment are aligned under one vision, a destination becomes a global reference point. This is hospitality as a long-term national value. Let me mention also that beyond individual projects, I'm actively involved in shaping wine tourism at national level as head of the Wine Tourism Committee of the Georgian Tourism Association with my dear colleagues Natalia Kochantiradze and Nina Kekelidze. And together we're working on initiatives that help wineries professionalize hospitality, increase visibility, and access international markets. Strong destinations are built through collaboration, shared standards, and long-term vision. So I've shared to you just without my beautiful slides, but it's okay. Maybe later I can share if someone is interested of. And it was just only very on surface, on the brief snapshots. Each of these properties are far deeper with many layers that could be explored and experienced, but time is limited. And let me summarize that hospitality is the force that defines Georgia's future as a destination. Today, destinations compete globally, and not only on beauty or price. They compete on quality, consistency, and experience. Hospitality is where all of this comes together. When hospitality is strategic, Georgia is not only attractive, it becomes distinct, credible, and competitive. The future of Georgian tourism depends on how we design, invest in, and lead our hospitality sector as infrastructure, as culture, and as a long-term national asset. When we get this right, destinations don't just grow, they endure and create lasting impact. This was all what I wanted to share to you today. So
Mrs. Elena, thank you so much for a remarkable presentation, and especially I think that your special experience was the most interesting for our audience and the path which you had experienced in your professional career. So wish you good luck and good luck to Georgian hospitality industry as well. Thank you again.
I'm sorry, if I may add, don't worry, the recording will be tomorrow there, and with your PowerPoint, just send it to us and we will add it to the website so people can see it.
Thank you so much.
No worry. Thank you.
Wonderful. It was very interesting. Thank you, Elena. So let's move to our next speaker, and we are on time. This is most important and interesting fact that we are moving interesting and slightly forward. Right now I would like to present Mr. Georgi Khidesheli, General Manager of Vareli Wine Cave at Khareba Winery. Mr. Georgi will share how Georgian gastronomy and wine culture embody the essence of our hospitality heritage and continue to attract visitors from around the world. Mr. Georgi, the floor is yours. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to this wonderful and very interesting conference. It's a pleasure and honor for me to share my experience and thoughts about Georgian hospitality. I would like to start my presentation with this sentence, which I guess is very important. In order to find out the value of something, sometimes you should discuss it from the different perspective. And I want to talk about Georgian hospitality now from the different perspective. Georgian hospitality is based on two main pillars. It's wine and gastronomy, and they are very firmly connected to each other. But step by step, I will try my best to describe all of them. So Georgians invented wine 8,000 years ago, and I guess that this sentence is very famous worldwide, and all the travelers, and specifically our guests, know this sentence very much. But this is not only the fact. Some people can think that approximately 10 years ago, we found oldest quarry, the wine pollen and grapeseed was preserved in it, and it was deduced that it was the oldest quarry and Georgians were inventor of the wine. But can you imagine that it is not only the fact, this is the process. By the time, imagine the time of like, how can you say, 8,000 years ago, people did not have Google or ChatGPT or something like that to search the information, and Georgians conducted too many experiments to finally came up with the methodology which is used even now for winemaking. This is the very, very long journey for us, and for centuries we are doing our best to create the wine, is like especially in quarry, and quarry wine becomes popular in the world, and that's why it became integral part of our culture and our heritage. Step by step, I want to tell you one important fact. I was reading historical sources about the development of Georgian wine history, and I noticed that thing. Until 19th century, Georgians did not commercialize wine production. What I mean, Georgians did not sell wine for profit, and mostly it was like produced for the family consumption. We can say assuring that food and water is vital for living, but wine is not. But if we discuss the fact that for the centuries, we have been producing wine and we did not stop, and we are not going to stop it in the future, it can be said that wine production and wine producing culture is very important for our nation, and it's an integral part of our culture. From the 19th century, 19th century was very interesting time period for Georgia. By the time people started migration from the rural areas to the urban areas, like namely to Tbilisi, capital of Georgia, and they brought the lifestyle to this city, which means that after the tiring day or after a pleasant day, let's say so, Georgians love to drink 1 glass or 2 glass wine. It was the lifestyle, and we keep this lifestyle even now. And this is also a very interesting part of our hospitality, because if the guests are around us, for sure, they have very good possibility to drink with us and share the wonderful moments. And after this change in historical change, which means that capital became like a center of the mobilizing people, and they brought their lifestyle, wine selling and wine production became very, very profitable business. And first the farmers entered it, and then the royal families. And Mrs. Elena mentioned Chateau Mukhrani and Inandali. They were the pioneers of wine production and bottling of the wine. And like the people, nobles, Georgian nobles, went to France. They learned how to make classic wine, how to bottle the wine. Also, they improved. Their contribution is remarkable from the like nowadays perspective as well. And later, like we became the part of the Soviet Union, and in the Soviet Union, even the building of the new vineyards, building of the new factories, mechanizing of the wine production was the priority of the central government, let's say so. And we have never stopped wine production. and we step by step improved it. Once we introduced to our country new technologies, once like in the Soviet Union, we just be focused on the scale of the industry. And from the 1990s, when Georgia achieved independence and Georgian wineries became independent actors in the world, the new era started. And I want to describe it. Georgians, we know such thing that we can produce one of the best Qvevri wine, but Qvevri wine requires more popularity, and I hope that soon, like, more and more people will know how good product the Qvevri wine is and how good it is for wine pairing. And at Quareli Wine Cave, we are actively work on it to suggest people to pair Qvevri wine to the Georgian traditional dishes, and I will discuss it more profoundly a little bit later. And also we produce classic wine, and I can say that Georgian classic wine is very good. And also the tendency of aging wine in the oak barrels or like something like that became very popular in our country. So I want to say that we are not focused on only on the Qvevri wine, but also we are contributing general wine industry, and we are doing our best to be associated as a country, as a nation, to the best wine of the world. Currently, like, people know very well French wine, Italian wine, American wine, like they are very well established countries, wine countries, you know, and Georgia is on the path and to be on the right path, I can say. And like government, the business, the private sector, and also tourism as well contribute like quite significant amount of effort and money and time to popularize Georgian wine. But personally, I think that tourism destinations are ambassadors for that. And how the tourist destinations play the crucial role in this process. So, for example, at Quareli Wine Cave, we can speak about Qvevri, for example. We can speak about Georgian wine tradition. We can show them the guests interesting photos from the past, but this is not enough. And we are trying our best to create engaging activities. For example, I mentioned Qvevri many times, and opening of the Qvevri is very interesting sacral ritual for Georgians. And for example, guests in Georgia can witness how Georgian man open Qvevri, how he takes the wine from the Qvevri, which is buried in the ground, with the wild pumpkin. It's a very traditional tool, and how he fills the clay cups and how he drinks the wine, and before the drinking, how he suggests the toast to the travelers. This is the entire process, and this process is truly based on the Georgian very authentic traditions. And the interesting and most important part is that travelers can engage themselves. They can help the host to open Qvevri. They can, for example, fill the cups themselves. They can suggest the toast to the friends or to the family to whom they are sharing with this moment, and they can drink wine without pause, you know, like we don't sip wine, Georgians traditional, we drink it like without stopping, and you should make the cup empty. And when I'm international traveler, from the perspective of the international travel, this is a very authentic and interesting process. And the nice tendency is that in Georgia, most of wineries try their best to like suggest the travelers engaging activities. And what happens on the market as well, we should discuss, we should cover this topic too. In Georgia, we have small wineries, we have medium scale wineries, and we have large wineries. Today, I represent large estate winery, which means that we have our vineyards, we have our wine factories, we have our wine aging cellar, which is under the tunnel, and it is like 8-kilometer tunnels under the ground, and we can accommodate 20 million liters. The capacity is this. We don't keep 20 million liters wine in our tunnels, but the capacity is this. And like travelers can visit all the mentioned groups. For example, in the family wineries, the most satisfying moment is interpersonal communication with the winemaker and the head of the family. What it means that you can freely talk to him, ask the questions, and ask how easy or how hard it is to clean quarry, for example, to have harvest, to make wine, to export wine. And the questions and answers sometimes create the remarkable and unforgettable memories. And mostly, quality of the wine is very interesting as well. And the scale is tiny. Sometimes, like a family winery, sometimes use only 2, 3, 5 grape varieties, but the quality of the wine is very good. When we discuss the middle scale wineries, they have the components from the family wineries. Maybe you can have access to the winemaker or the host of this place, but as well you can see the lovely, beautiful winery with the many components of the traditional things on it, art things, I mean, and you can drink 10 or 15 different sort of wine, and you can have wonderful snack, Georgian traditional snack, and you can have meal there, dinner, lunch, and so on, and it's very interesting as well. And large-scale wineries, I represent the large-scale winery, that's why I say we. We offer full range of activities. And for example, we say that one of the famous information about Georgians is that we are pressing wine in the wooden press, and we're pressing the grapes with the bare feet, and it's a very interesting process. And for example, big wineries have capacity to organize this activity as well. For example, we have vineyards, guests can have harvest during the September and October. They can bring the these harvested grapes to the wooden press, step inside and press the grapes and make the wine. So it's just an initial part of the wine production. We have capacity to organize the facilities, to build the facilities, to to organize the processes as well. And huge scale wineries mostly offer them not only wine tastings, but also such activities. Also, gastronomy is the very, very close friend of the wine industry, we can say so informally. And for example, we say that Georgian cuisine is very authentic, and I can explain it with two main factors. The first one is that we can organize in Georgia, in every winery, the culinary masterclasses. For example, Georgian bread is very delicious. Traveler can bake the bread in the clay oven, and it mostly does not make sense which type of winery you're visiting. For example, small scale, medium scale, or large scale. Mostly we have it because the tonne clay oven traditionally was in the houses or the yards of our Georgian families. This is you can bake khachapuri, you can make churchel, and just the things which can be easily prepared and engaging is also easy for the travelers. But if the traveler wants to experience the full-scale Georgian gastronomy, we have local cuisines per region. They are very different from each other. They have their specific flavors. And interesting fact is that Georgia also is divided into the wine regions. For example, in the western part, we have light body wine, which has very aromatic flavors. In the Eastern Georgia, we have little bit, full body wine, and both of them have the companion and pairing dishes from the regional cuisine. And also in Georgian cuisine, we have mostly hearty dishes, which means that many ingredients are mixed together and they are stewed mostly. And we can find here vegetables, meat, spices, and like herbs and so on. And can you imagine Georgian food is the, huge box of flavors. But this, if you eat only the dish, you can feel the many interesting flavors. But if you select the proper wine, and also Georgian wine has many flavors in it, the combination of these two products create the very interesting mix of the flavors. And Georgian dishes are very well paired to the Qvevri wine, and we are trying our best at our restaurant to recommend the traveler that if you're selecting this dish, let's try to have this wine as well, and finally the result will be very satisfying. And I don't want to talk too much, but I want to say a very positive thing, that Georgian tourism industry has the very positive tendency in terms of putting focuses on the important aspects. We started explaining Georgian wine differently. We started suggesting Georgian food differently, and like more background is explained. And also the pairing of the wine and food is like our priority, and most of restaurants and most of families or most of wineries do their best to mix these two components of our hospitality so well that see the shocked faces in the positive way of our guests. And trust me, I have seen such faces many times, and it is very addictive thing, and that's why we do our best to see happy travelers and happy guests almost every day.
Mr. Georgi,
So,
sorry for
thank you
interruption.
very
Just
much.
to summarize and conclude your presentation.
Thank
Sorry
you.
again.
This was the end of my presentation. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was very interesting indeed, talking about Georgian wine, and the specialties and diversities are always pleasure for our local as well as international travelers. So thank you so much again, Mr. Georgi, for your interesting insights and details. And as we approach the conclusion of our formal presentation, it's essential to consider where global tourism is heading and how emerging trends and innovations will shape the industry's future. We are honored to conclude with Mr. Eduardo Santander and his presentation, who is CEO and Executive Director of the European Travel Commission. Mr. Santander will provide insights into global travel trends and innovations that are transforming the tourism landscape, offering valuable perspectives for Georgia's strategic positioning. Mr. Santander prepared a video which we will share it to you, so you will have possibility to view and see his own impressions and expectations as well.
Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank the Institute of Tourism and Mr. Reza Soltani for the kind invitation to speak with you today. It is a pleasure and an honor to join you online and to share a few thoughts on a subject that is not only economically important, but also culturally and socially meaningful: tourism. My name is Eduardo Santander. I'm the CEO of the European Travel Commission, the umbrella organization of national tourism organizations of Europe, with a very old tradition of promoting Europe beyond being a collection of destinations, but rather a variety of experiences, and definitely providing a lot of insightful research and advocacy actions, with our partners such as UN Tourism and many others. Tourism is far more than travel, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bridge between people, cultures, and economies. Around the world, tourism supports millions of jobs, sustains local communities, and helps preserve heritage that might otherwise be lost. This is particularly true for countries like Georgia, and more broadly across Europe, where history, culture, and diversity are central to our identity. Let me start with Georgia now. Georgia is a country with extraordinary tourism potential. It offers a unique combination of ancient history, rich traditions, stunning natural landscapes, and legendary hospitality. From the Caucasus Mountains to the Black Sea coast, from centuries-old churches and monasteries to vibrant cities like Tbilisi, Georgia provides experiences that are both authentic and memorable. Tourism plays a crucial role in Georgia's economic development. It creates employment opportunities, not only in hotels and restaurants, but also in transportation, agriculture, crafts, guiding services, and small family businesses. In many rural and mountainous areas, tourism is often one of the few sustainable sources of income. This means tourism helps reduce regional inequalities and supports balanced development across the country. Equally important is tourism's role in preserving culture and identity. When visitors come to Georgia to experience traditional music, cuisine, winemaking, or local customs, they create an incentive to protect and pass on these traditions to future generations. Tourism, ladies and gentlemen, when managed responsibly, becomes a powerful tool for cultural preservation rather than cultural loss. Now, if we look at Europe as a whole, our role, tourism is one of the continent's most important economic sectors. Europe is the world's most visited region, attracting travelers with its diversity of languages, landscapes, cuisines, and lifestyles. Tourism contributes significantly to GDP, to employment, and regional development across both large cities, but also small towns in the countryside. Beyond economics, tourism in Europe plays a vital role in building understanding and unity. In a continent shaped by different histories and sometimes difficult pasts, tourism encourages dialogue, openness, and mutual respect. When people travel, they do not just consume destinations, they learn, they compare, and they connect. This human connection is more important than ever in today's complex and rapidly changing world. At the same time, we must acknowledge that tourism also brings responsibilities. Sustainable tourism is no longer an option, it is a necessity. Climate change, environmental pressure, and over-tourism challenge destinations across Europe and beyond around the world. Georgia and the European countries alike must focus on quality rather than quantity, long-term planning rather than short-term gains, and respect for local communities and their ecosystems. This is where institutions like the Institute of Tourism play a key role through education, research, and international cooperation and exchange. By training future professionals and encouraging innovative and responsible practices, tourism can continue to be a positive force for economic growth, cultural exchange, and sustainability. In conclusion, tourism is not just an industry, ladies and gentlemen. It is a connector between past and future, local and global, people and places. For Georgia in particular, tourism represents opportunity, pride, and international visibility. For Europe, it remains a cornerstone of economic resilience and cultural dialogue. Once again, I would really like to thank the Institute of Tourism, Mr. Reza Soltani, for this kind invitation and for creating a space to exchange ideas online. I truly appreciate your attention and I look forward to our discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Santander.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, first of all, I would like to sincerely...
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Reza. So I would like to say thank you again to Mr. Eduardo Santander for that forward-looking analysis, understanding these global trends, which is essential as we position Georgia for continued growth and success. So right now, as we finished our exceptional lineup of speakers representing national, regional, and international perspectives on tourism development, it's already time we can start our Q&A session. So now we will open the floor for questions and answers. Like all participants from our Zoom platform, you can keep your question concise and indicate which speaker you would like to address. Also, you can use your maybe chat box or raise your hand and ask your question directly. I will check chat box just if you have any questions.
And everybody is muted, so anybody has a question, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Or maybe you can share some comments, remarks, your ideas if you don't have any question.
Yeah. Or any speaker maybe want to add some comments or...
Yeah.
Can I, first of all, I want to thanks to every distinguished guest and to attend our conference as well. Our speakers, very useful and important information sharing to audience. Thank you for this support, Mr. Reza. This was great opportunity to introduce Georgia as a main destination for the travelers, and we use this opportunity to give the most important information about our niche direction, wine, gastronomy, hospitality, and our resort, about our resorts and protected areas. And of course, in Georgia, we have huge opportunity to take part and choose what kind of the travel destination is important, for example, for person who decides to visit us. And we are happy that's a combination, as I mentioned, it's important part for our tourism importance, and the combine tourists as well. They were interesting to combine cultural wine, cultural gastronomy, and adventure part. Of course, it's important of our country, and I hope that this conference gives the opportunity that Georgia as a brand will be on the map of the future travelers as well, and we take a very small step in forward to share this information for sustainable development for our country, and I hope that the Georgia as a very good destination will be very interesting for everybody in the future. Thank you very much for this support and opportunity.
Thank you so much. I see my good friend here, Mr. Herbote. You raising your hand, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Reza. Thank you to all the participants and speakers from Georgia. I would like to share a short story. I go back to 92. In 92, in February, I got a telephone call. His name was Saba Kiknadze. Saba Kiknadze heard from me first time from ITB. He said, "What is ITB?" I asked him to come to Berlin, and we have met at the stand of the World Tourism Organization, which was our meeting point. He was very, very surprised how the world is promoting themselves at the International Tourism Exchange in Berlin. We met again in 93, and in 94, he organized the first stand of Georgia at an international tourism event. In 94, he visited me at home. He stayed overnight for 2 days. We spoke about a lot of things, what you were talking here today. This was in 94. No tourism association exists, no tour operator association, no hotel association, nothing. Just bureaucrats. Bureaucrats participated. He invited some people from the Ministry of Economy, Department of Resorts and Tourism, I think was the name. They did not know anything why they are in Berlin. These were really, really technocrats of the old times, of the Soviet times, or in between times. And of course, we have spoken what is needed. We have spoken about a Georgian Tourism Association in my living room in '94. Now we have 2026. And I'm very, very positive, not surprised. I was very sure this can happen if the politics don't play crazy games. Georgia made it to even become a partner country at ITB, I think it was 2 years ago. And unfortunately, Saba passed away last year. I think without Saba, Georgia would not be there where Georgia is now. He made so much at the very, very, very early stages when some of you were not born or children. And I just want to mention this. That's all. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Buchwald, it was very interesting because Saba was our colleague and he was owner and founder of one of the biggest and oldest travel agencies in Georgia. And we had possibility to work together in different tourism expos. So thank you for such historical remarks. If anybody you have any comment or maybe remark, if not question, feel free. Mrs. Diana, you have your hand. You can unmute your microphone. Or FB.
Diana, you are muted. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. You
could I just ask?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Just ask a quick question.
Yeah.
Georgia has a wonderful tradition of traditional singing. And I wondered if that is ever marketed as part of your tourism offer. Perhaps someone from the tourism organization could answer that.
Yeah, maybe Tamar Khakishvili or maybe Koreauli if you are here.
Koreauli she was busy. Maybe Tamar Khakishvili is here.
Just to clarify, thank you for the question. Wonderful about what you question was about marketing of what? Sorry, just
of the Georgian traditional singing.
Traditional singing.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful question. Definitely, Georgian singing together with all the elements of cultural, non-tangible elements are one of the priorities that has been integrated within the strategies of Georgian National Tourism Administration. I believe my colleague, Ms. Tamar Oriauli, would agree with me just to mentioned that in the priorities and in the strategy of tourism development of the country, together with its different elements like wine marketing and culture marketing and hospitality marketing, Georgian dances and singing has been one of the distinguishing parts. And I do believe that the promotional activities together with marketing of these activities at different exhibitions where Georgian National Tourism Administration is participating is taking a great pleasure and a great place. I know that right now a lot of concerts are co-financed and supported by the Georgian National Tourism Administration in order to support local ensembles and local groups to go abroad and demonstrate and promote the country's traditional singing, which is quite unique. And we all know that people who just listen to this music, they are definitely astonished and surprised with the beauty of these voices. And of course, this is part of the great big campaign which is undertaken by Georgian National Tourist Administration in terms of marketing and supported by the government and Ministry of Economy as a whole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tamar. Next question, please, Mrs. Diana. Or there is not written your name. PC is written on.
Yeah. Miss Diana, please. Diana.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to say a big thank you to the Institute of Tourism for putting together this amazing forum. The quality of people here is just blowing my mind, especially since we're promoting community tourism in Jamaica and the Caribbean. And we have a community tourism study tour that we're offering for 2 weeks, which includes 5-day entrepreneurship training for anyone interested. And it is certified by the Northern Caribbean University Morris Entrepreneurship Center. And then the rest of the time, we'll be visiting communities, including the ones that were devastated by the hurricane we just had, to do an assessment with them to find out who would be interested in being a part of our Pick-up Project and Adopt a Village program. We're very excited to see the quality people that we have here and what you do, because I think that it will be great for you to promote this program. So if you're interested, please email me at the iiptcaribbean@yahoo.com, and we can move together and get more people involved, because we have to collaborate in tourism as much as we can. Because what the hurricane did for us, I tell you quite frankly, it has made people come together more, and they're now united and they're more spiritual, because we're promoting a spiritual retreat too, which is important for the young people to move forward. But thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Just to add, Diana is a good friend for many years, and from Jamaica. She's the president and actually the founder of the Community Tourism Caribbean, and she's probably the first one who brought up the community tourism and the villages as a businesses, if I'm not wrong. Diana, maybe you can say that by yourself. What exactly, Diana?
Thank you. I am very interested in people understanding that the Caribbean is working together with what we are doing. And I will thank Mr. Risa, Institute of Tourism, for all his support for us. I'm going to be posting my profile that he helped to put together, which will give you a good background of what we're all about. And we're promoting Jamaica and the Caribbean Home of Community Tourism marketing program this year, which will include what I just told you, the study tours and the spiritual revival retreat, because that's something we believe needs to happen so that people can move forward. Because many of our churches were destroyed in Jamaica, and we have more churches than anywhere else in the world. And what we're saying to people is that church is not just a building. Church is when 2 or 3 people are gathered together according to the Bible, and we can get them moving in a positive way, because many youth people here are very despondent, and we're setting up the Youth Community Tourism Ambassador Program as well. And we have the youth tourism directors involved in managing that, because we believe that the youth needs to take the program forward. And we are very happy to collaborate with any organization here who is interested in, and we're going to offer everybody here complimentary membership of our organization. If you're interested, you can just email me at iiptcaribbean@yahoo.com. We want you all to become partners in progress for tourism. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
May I please add one sentence? Diana, IIPT, not everybody knows. It is International Institute for Peace Through Tourism. And Diana is coordinating the Caribbean area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Richard, I see your hand. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Garmarjova Sakavelo. I just want to ask, thank you so much for doing this event. I'm learning so much here. I wanted to know, Georgia has such deep hospitality traditions with food and beverage, but how do they maintain these traditions within the tourism hospitality sector without turning them into performances for the visitors, and supporting the more rural towns and villages outside of cities like Tbilisi?
Thank you.
Like,
Wonderful.
if I might add to that, like I'm coming from a place like Puerto Rico, and sometimes some of our traditions become a bit like watered down, and then festivals that used to be a lot more about our community can be overstimulated and become more of like a party. And so there's like a mixed feeling about it. I don't know if there's a similar sentiment in Georgia.
Thank you, Richard, for your questions. Maybe Mrs. Tamar, you...
Professional services for anywhere in the world, because we have consultants and we can do online training as well. So we have done a lot of training in the Caribbean region, and they have formed their own community tourism network, like Barbados has the Barbados Community Tourism Network, and we have St. Vincent and others. So we are open and ready. I just posted my profile and my website, my email. So you're interested, just let us know. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Maybe Georgi Khedasheli will answer this question. Georgi, you are here?
Please unmute your microphone.
Okay, so to summarize your question, it was just making regions like more active in terms of providing hospitality services. Am I right? Can you just repeat the question, and I will try my best to answer it. Okay.
So the question was, in bringing more of the tourism to Georgia, how are you bringing people to cities outside of the metropolitan, outside of the more popular? Like we only really know about Tbilisi over here, without disrupting traditions or making the traditions into these commodified performances, still maintaining the respect for the traditions, but allowing other cultures to get involved, but still respecting and appreciating that the traditional culture there.
Okay, so the question is very interesting because respecting each other's culture is one of the, how can I say, sensitive topic in tourism sometimes. And I can answer you like with the technical, how can I say, knowledge which I have. Tour guides play the crucial role in this process, and travel agencies. In Georgia, travel agencies, let's discuss travel agencies and the individual travelers, okay? Travel agencies have the guidelines, and these guidelines inform the travelers about the local rules and cultural standards, and the guides are transferring these guidelines to the travelers, and they play the crucial role in this process. Like many years ago, I used to be a tour guide, and it was a wonderful time. And I remember very clearly that it was I was very careful when we visited to the specific places with the very local authentic traditions, and I was like explaining how things work here okay, in terms of culture and traditions. And don't do that, or do it and do it, it is allowed, it is not allowed, and so on. As for the individual travelers who are not guided by the tour guide, unfortunately, Georgian tourism have very good how can I say, access to the vlogs and online media, like articles and information about us and about our culture and about our traditions are really well disseminated on the online media platforms. And the people who are interested in these topics can read the articles or recommendations and so on and so on. For example, sometimes people don't like if they are taken the photo without permission, and people know that this refers to a specific group of people in Georgia. And I don't know if somewhere is the document of the guidelines which can be downloaded by somebody and read everything, but I think that information is well accessible through online media platforms and the tour guides. Was this answer you were interested in? If you want, I can enhance it.
Well, definitely, it was definitely insightful. I guess I wonder, how other smaller cities or villages, if they welcome this kind of travelers who come, who might not be so familiar with the traditions, if it's seen as something disruptive or something that's, hey, let's have more people come and contribute to the local economy. So I think this is definitely...
Okay, I guess also we can say that the spots, let's say spots, for example, wineries, family guest houses, or like places where you can have the family dinner or something like that. Like they know very well that being host is profitable, is the main direction, and I mean the popularity increases, satisfaction of the guests increases, profit, I mean the financial profit increases as well. Yeah, and step by step they are exploring the experiences of local, how can I say, not competitors, but colleagues and also international colleagues. And they know that how I can show you this tradition, how I can, I don't want to say word sell, because they are not selling, they are just showing off, with a positive meaning. Yeah, they are proud of the traditions they have, and they are very happy that more people know about them, And finally, these people use social media platforms as well to spread information about them. And local, like staying in Tbilisi is not enough to see the Georgia. And when the travelers are arranging their trips, for sure they are trying their best to search information about such small-scale tourism locations, and it's accessible, and these people work on it very well. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Georgi and Mr. Richard, for the question. I think we can conclude the conference and Q&A session, but move to the next B2B direction section, where everybody will have possibility to talk to each other according to the format and the timing. So if anyone would love to make some dialogue or contact and share contact details of each other, you can use chat box and also talk to each other in this format, or maybe exchange your email addresses and then continue cooperation and talks about maybe some businesses or travelers.
Just
and
to
Mr.
add,
Reza, maybe you can help
just
to
to
me.
add, so we have over 100 people registered For the B2B, those are the Georgian tour operators, hotels owners, and so on. And this will be their contact information will be available also from tomorrow. So you can contact us if you are a tourism professional, and then we can provide you with the contact details of those in Georgia. So tour operators, travel agents, and DMC or branding or marketing companies, they can always contact us and we can provide you with those details.
Thank you.
Reza, may I please interrupt? Excuse me, please. There were two gentlemen here. They are waiting for 20 minutes. I don't know whether you have seen it. It is Obina from Nigeria and PC. And PC now have removed his hand. I don't know, but they were waiting for 20 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, so they have time at this moment. You can ask your question, and Mr. Obina first, maybe you.
Yeah. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Obina is sleeping, so maybe PC.
Yeah, they are muted. So okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello,
What is your
everyone.
name? PC, yeah.
My name is Mohammed.
Okay.
I'm talking from the Northern Cyprus. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yes.
Okay. Thank you to you all. My question is, does the Georgian government, or specifically the tourism administration, subsidize tourism services or give some funds in order to attract more international tourists?
Yes, thank you. To whom this question refers? Do you have identified any speaker? Or just
I think Natalia actually can answer this question.
Yeah, here is not unfortunately Tamar Liv, and unfortunately
maybe I can also
maybe Tamar. Thank you, Tamar.
Yeah, I will try to elaborate the answers from the government's perspective and talking from Agency of Protected Areas and Georgian National Tourism Administration's perspective. Mostly the National Georgian Tourism Administration funds the projects which support the development of tourism in the country, including the companies, supporting the companies, but of course it cannot be directly subsidizing or giving some grants to individual businesses, because you would definitely agree with me that it will not be like a pure and very correct activity from government side just to finance individual businesses. But the very strong instrument in order to support local companies in terms of development their tourist and touristic activities is just to support them in promotion of their activities. Sometimes they also fund their participation at different international exhibitions. And annually there is about 10 or 15 exhibitions worldwide in the target market, so where they finance their participation at the exhibition, including the stand and the provision of Georgian materials in order to attract more and more visitors in the country. On the other hand, there is another instrument in the country which supports local producers to export their product and to attract investments afterwards in the country. So it does not only work for tourism attraction and attracting international visitors in Georgia, but also to support their production. I mentioned, and Ms. Tamar already describe the project of Stumari, which is one of the interesting projects which is highlighting the Georgian Asian hospitality. And Mr. Richard asked exactly how Georgia is maintaining the soul and the spirit of this kind of hospitality. And this is exactly coming from the regions of Georgia, because in all the regions of the country, they have particular spirit, their individual souls, and each individual business has its approach, which definitely needs to be showcased in the proper manner. Coming back to the promotional activities, as I mentioned, supporting them at international exhibitions, this has continuous effect. So even now you can just Google the website of the Georgian National Tourism Administration, register at international exhibitions where they are participating, and submit your application for involvement in this kind of exhibitions. They also support in terms of campaigns. Annually, there is a lot of media tours which is directed for bringing media companies or tourism companies from different countries in order to come to Georgia to make films or movies or podcasts about Georgian market, like on tourism segment, and to bring this information worldwide in their countries. All these kind of efforts contribute to final result, which is increasing awareness of Georgian potential worldwide, and on another hand, supporting local, particular small businesses to showcase their services worldwide.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I think the last question, maybe. Mr. Robina? Mr. Robina,
yes,
please.
hello.
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Excuse me, Dr. Ninu. I don't have a direct question right now, but my questions are similar to those asked in the chat box. So I copy and send it to your chat box directly. If you don't have a time right now, please also answer it and post it in the website. Just my request and kind suggestion. Thank you.
Okay. Did you route your question in the chat box? Yeah.
Yes, my questions are similar to some asked in the chat box. For example, like international collaboration to Georgia tourism, but they must have collaboration with impact assessment, or what sort of framework, or so and so. So just I think I keep particularly 5 questions. These are very engaging and effective if we know, so that we could do more collaboration. So I copied it, and then being Dr. Nino is MC, I send it a direct message, and if you don't have right now the answer,
I got it, Indira. Thank you so much. I read
Okay,
and I forwarded my personal email, so you can feel free to let me know your questions, and I'll try to help you.
Anyway,
Okay.
all the questions that have been shared, so we will send that to Miss Natalie and Miss Nina, and they will take care, and they will give the necessary answers to them.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Can I go on now?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. I want to ask, let me first of all appreciate what Georgia Tourism is doing. This is fantastic. And I want to ask, have Georgia any partnership collaboration with Nigeria? And how can we really partner? You know, Nigeria have so much tourism, but untapped. I would not fail to say this. We have not tapped our tourism resources, and on personal and private capacities here, we are doing much. Because there is no budget, I have to also map out that for tourism development in Nigeria. So we are trying very hard to promote Nigerian tourism, but Nigerians love traveling a lot, both on tourism, medicals, whatever. So what I'm seeing in Georgia is fascinating, but I'm not seeing people promoting it here. So what's the partnership? What's the collaboration? Who is talking about Georgia in Nigeria? Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe I can answer a little that question. So yeah, definitely Nigeria economy is booming. In fact, we have a partnership and we work with Nigeria. We work with the hotel managers and hotel investments in Nigeria. We co-organize also conferences. Then, in fact, Nigeria tourism is really booming as the population is growing. So definitely the outbound tourism is becoming more important. But as the moment, I don't think the outbound of the Nigeria to the Central Asia is significant because of the connectivity issue to start with, probably with some visa issues as well. But I don't think there is a really a kind of the promoting Georgia in Nigeria as far as I know. But yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Natalie, please, we can conclude and maybe.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all participants waiting us till this time. It's a great pleasure to host all of you here once again, and thanks to our partners, a great partnership and a great opportunity for organizing this conference. Thank you, Nina, for your moderation, and all Georgian international speakers, great input and contribution. Thank you very much, and welcome to everybody to Georgia to visit us, to have a travel and discover our beautiful, beautiful country. Thank you very much.
And a good glass of wine. Thank you so much. It was really great. Thank you so much, Natalie. And also Miss Nina for the moderating. It was really great. I still see Miss Tamar here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. And thank you all the speakers. It was really great. From tomorrow, the recording will be there, and the PowerPoint and biography of all the speakers will remain forever. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and see you all in Georgia.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.